Successful managers in today's transformation economy have to be able to tell compelling stories to their constituents. These narratives are often very data-laden, data-rich, and have a strategic focus. I'm here today with Darden's 2024 Outstanding Faculty Award winner, Anthony Palomba. How are you today, Anthony?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much for having me here.
I'm glad to have you here because you're someone in the Darden faculty who helps students develop these critical skills. And one of the ways you do that is in your course, Storytelling with Data.
Storytelling with Data has really become a very popular course, and it's humbling to say the least. In this particular course, I ask students to think about storytelling principles, highlighting, bolding, coloring slides, and where information may go and what's in a top line. And it's also supported by Tableau and ThinkCell technical training as well, so they walk away with a toolkit that they can apply for their internships over the first year of summer.
Now, you mentioned Tableau.
Yeah.
You have a really great technical note and case pairing that you use in this course. So your Tableau technical note is 24 pages, but I think you told me it only scratches the surface as to what Tableau can do.
It does. It's funny. When I started writing, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I got 20 pages in and said, oh my goodness. But, you know, over the course of the Tableau Tech Note, you're able to see all the kinds of filtering that are available, all the kinds of map manipulations that you can have where if you're, scrolling over a particular map, you can kind of see a chart and chart feature, for instance. You can do different coloring and bolding options. And so it's really meant to aid students in seeing just what is available to customize for an interactive dashboard.
Well, it sounds like they get to have a lot of fun with all of those tools because you give them a case, picture perfect. The assignment to students is they have to visualize interactive beer profiles for an executive. Is that right?
That's right. So I was able to secure a beer data file on beer profiles and flavors and sourness and bitterness and things of that sort, and figured that grad students would like to talk about creating a new beer flavor for that matter. So I had a feeling it would work.
I bet you get some creative ones.
Yeah, very creative, very creative. Well, I begin with different kinds of puns on beer names and things of that sort. And it's really a case that looks at, rather than being product driven, can we be a little bit more data driven by creating a new beer flavor, right? Rather than thinking of, something that you like or whatever it may be, can we use data? Can we harness current consumer preferences and begin to create something new for that matter?
Excellent. Now we're going to switch gears.
Yeah.
You've got another course elective that's very popular, which is Media and Entertainment Businesses. What's the focus of this course and how is it different than your data visualization course?
Yeah, so with Storytelling with Data, it's a lot of technical application, storytelling with data principles. You need to create a deck, you need to create a Tableau workbook, like let's go, go, go. And so students are constantly getting iterations in that during the Storytelling with Data class. Media and Entertainment Business, the goal is to push students to think about why do we need art? Why do we need artists? And then based on those questions, looking at data sets from current research that I'm doing, and I've created and have begun to try to create cases around some of the data sets I've secured where I have data dashboards for students and they're able to run, random forests, other kinds of machine learning to begin to understand the relationship between art and science.
One of the cases in that course is an A and a B case that really helps students try to optimize their advertising reach, and that's a Din's Donuts case set.
Yeah, so Din's Donuts is inspired by one of the research studies I'm currently doing with a few colleagues at Northwestern. We were able to put out a survey and look at available advertising attention supply, right? People are now paying not to be advertised to. That's an issue when you're trying to segment audiences. And so around that research, I wanted to build a case around an advertisement campaign for a minty cacao dream donut. And so Din's Donuts deals with a Vietnamese family who is trying to figure out what kind of advertising campaign to do in the greater Los Angeles area around this donut. And LA has a heck of a donut culture if you're not familiar with it, so that's why it was positioned there.
Excellent. Speaking of LA, you have another case, Understanding TV and Video Streaming Industries.
So that particular case deals with a current study I'm doing on superstar hits and looking at whether it behooves streaming services to have hit content How much does that push the needle? And so I was able to secure some parent analytics data, which looks at demand for TV series every day across searches, across viewing said TV series, and going on the website of said TV series, really looking at the ecosystem of engagement. And it helps students think about, well, what is the demand for Stranger Things every day or Succession? And it's not just when something airs, but it's how it exists in the zeitgeist, right? The mass cultural, pop culture movement or momentum that's going on.
Well, thank you, Anthony, for taking the time to share with us information about these cases you've developed.
This was fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to learn more about Dr. Palomba's case studies or download his teaching notes, visit us today at dardenbusinesspublishing.com.